Hello YouTube, my name's Marie and today we're going to talk about all of the shows that I watched in November. So I just wanted to start off by saying Happy New Year's, you guys. Do you have any resolutions? You know, new year, new you? I don't usually do resolutions, but this year I've decided, because I watch so much TV, and before when I was watching TV that was, English speaking, I almost always did something else while I watched TV. So I would clean, or I would draw, or I would do something and just listen. But when you have to read subtitles, that's not really an option. Knitting. And I am a beginner knitter, so like this is the extent of my knitting ability. You can judge me if you'd like. I know it's messy and awful. Like, look, I lost stitches and there's a hole, like, it's a mess, I know. But I started yesterday on New Year's Day. By this, you can either say, wow, she watches a lot of TV, or I'm a really fast knitter. Only one of those things are true. So let's get into my November wrap up. And November was the month of Chinese dramas for me. I just watched way more Chinese shows than I usually do. But to start off the month, the first thing that I wrapped up, or that I finished, was a K-drama from 2017 called Just Between Lovers. Now this show follows two characters as they reconnect many years after a shared tragedy, and it's them working together to heal and their romance, basically. And I am giving Just Between Lovers a 4.75 out of 5 stars. It's a great show. I think if you're gonna go back and watch shows from previous years, this is definitely one that should be on your list. Speaking of lists, I am just not organized enough to do like a best of 2018, although I would really love to do that. So another one of my goals for 2019, beyond just knitting while I watch TV, is to be more organized and to catalog the shows that I watch. And so next year around this time, I will be able to do those lists for you guys because I genuinely want to. I think those lists are way too much fun to pass up. I want to be involved. Okay, so next I watched a bunch more of Rise of the Phoenixes. I am currently at episode 66. I'm so close to being done. Like, I think there's only 70 episodes and I'm on 66. I don't know why I stopped, because I watched it at the beginning of November December. This is a December wrap up. Have I been saying November this entire time? I have 2 videos dedicated to Rise of the Phoenixes. I will link them down below, and any other videos that I've already done related to any of the future shows that I mentioned in this video will also be linked down below. From episode 50 onwards of Rise of the Phoenixes, so far has been the best film work, the best cinematography, the best directing. Like, production-wise, it's the best the show has been thus far. But I am not so happy with where the characters and where the storyline is going, and I think that is why I've slowed down in watching it. I still have every intention of finishing it and doing a spoiler review of the whole series for you guys, but it just is not going to happen as quickly as I want to, because I am no longer going to watch shows that I don't actively enjoy in the moment. A lot of what I did the last couple of months is watch a lot of your guys' recommendations, which I love. Like, don't stop recommending me things. But I was really trying to watch shows that I weren't enjoying, or I wasn't enjoying. So I'm just not going to do that anymore. So if you recommend me something, I might put it on for 15 minutes. If I'm not liking it for 15 minutes, I'm going to just turn it off. Like, my time and my enjoyment is more important to me. I'm also very much the type of person that if I'm in the mood for something, I'll gobble it up. So at the moment, I just don't think I'm in the mood for Rise of the Phoenixes as I was earlier when I started to. Right now, I'm really into My Strange Hero, and that's all I want to watch, but I'll get to that later. Next, I watched the first 5 episodes of Encounter. Office place romance between a CEO and a new employee, but what's great about this show is that it gender bends it. So the first thing you probably thought of when I said CEO and new employee was probably that it was a CEO who is an older man and a younger woman. Nope, this is a no romance. Gotta love that. The downside about this show, though, is that I personally don't feel very emotionally engaged with it. I don't find that there's any spark between the leads, so it's quite dragging for me to watch. So I'm cutting it off at 5. I don't plan to continue with this one. And another one that I don't plan to continue is next on my list, and that is Memories of Alhambra. Alright, so next I watched Hymn of Death, and this is a Korean miniseries. It only has 3 episodes of an hour, and it's a retelling of the infamous story, I guess I would say it's infamous, true story about a tragic love story between a genius playwright and an opera singer, and that's all I'm gonna say, because anything more would be spoilers. I believe I gave this show 4 stars, but that it's a lower score because I think that it was rushed. It should have been longer so you could invest more time with these characters and the relationships that they're building, because I found it genuinely engaging and entertaining. And also, I had a very visceral response to the content that is not suitable for everyone. If you're interested, again, video linked below. Next, I watched a Chinese drama, Because of Meeting You. I made it to episode 3, and this, like, the Viki synopsis of this is about 2 people who are competing against each other, but also developing a romance. But what you get within the first 3 episodes is a lot of backstory. Like, the leads that will eventually be in a romance together are very young. So if you're interested in like an epic family drama, this could be a good one, because those first 3 episodes focus on the mother of the female lead and her sister-in-law. Maybe I'll come back to this show one day because I was intrigued by it and the family drama is good. I just wasn't in that mood. Then I finished and did a full review on My Little Princess. Now, My Little Princess is about a girl who's been labeled with the princess syndrome label, and I was quite impressed with it in the beginning. It seems to be very self-aware and take a lot of the tropes of the genre and just kind of flip them on their head, and there's a lot of satirical humor that I really enjoyed, but by the end it did take itself far too seriously. Overall, I gave My Little Princess 2.75 out of 5 stars. It is definitely trash. Next, I watched My Mr. Mermaid, there we go, and I got to episode 14 actually. I was also surprised by this one because when I went in, I was thinking it would be trash level, you know, like I was still in the mood for trash, so I went looking for more trash, and I was surprised because this isn't totally trash. Now this is about a young sports journalist, and she gets involved with one specific swim team and their friendships, and actually all of the relationships really elevate the material because there's a large focus on the interpersonal relationships between the swim team members and between their relationship and the sports journalist. So I really enjoyed all of that. But again, the show is quite long. There's about 36 episodes, I believe, and I wasn't loving it. By the time I got to episode 14, I felt like I had gotten what I wanted from it, and it was time for me to move on. And next, the VIP of this month, I watched My Strange Hero, and I freaking loved it. Oh my gosh, I wish it was done. I wish it was completed so I could just binge it all, because afterwards, I didn't want to watch anything else because it was so good. And it is about a 27-year-old man who ends up going back to high school in order to get his revenge for a wrong that happened to him while he was in high school. And his past peers that were in high school with him, one is now the director of the school and the other one is now his homeroom teacher. So there's a lot of drama going on that way. And I still think it's unreasonable that a grown-ass man would go back to high school with high schoolers. But a commenter told me that I believe they said in Taiwan, I think, that adults can go back to high school in the same class whenever they want, and it's so weird to me. Okay, so next I have and this show I gave a solid 3 out of 5 stars. 3 out of 5 stars to me is an average good time. There's nothing really great, but there's also nothing really wrong with it. So this was a good action show. However, the last 3 minutes are a huge problem. Okay, and then I watched 6 episodes of When Time Stopped, and this is about a man with the ability to stop time with the snap of his fingers, and he meets a woman who can still function and still move around in time while it's suspended. The woman who can move through time while it has frozen for everybody else. She is the owner of a building. When I went into this show, I was expecting it to be at the level of That Man Oso or Uso, and then like About Time, and there's another one that was at that level that I watched recently, but I can't remember. But like, you know, those shows that are romances but with a gimmick, like that's what I thought this was going to be. But it surprised me in the fact that there's also a lot more supernatural things involved. So if you like Grim Reapers, like that whole trope, this could be something you're interested in. And I think I may come back to it, but the last couple of episodes focused on certain tenants within the landlady's building, giving them entire episodes, and I'm just not interested in that right now. So lastly, I watched only 1 episode of Ashes of Love, and this is another Chinese drama, and I think it came out this year, and it's vomiting fantasy everywhere. It's great. Except for, again, I'm just not in the mood for that right now. It was just a lot. It was too much fantasy, a lot of world building right away, and I wasn't feeling the characters. Like, they didn't pull me in right away. Like, when I go to watch a new show, I want to instantly love people. I don't want to have to invest 10 to 15 episodes into people before I'm really engaged with the story. To me, I think that fails. So I can see the potential in Ashes of Love to be a great story and to have like great relationships and stuff. So, like, there's a lot of potential. I just don't want to invest my time to get there eventually. And Ashes of Love led me to another Chinese drama. Like I said, December was the month of Chinese dramas, and that is The Eternal Love. And I put this one on because I know that there's a season 2, but season 1 has to do with a modern time woman who gets transported back. Like, we've all heard this story before, right? What makes this one different from all the other time slip shows is she actually shares the body with the woman whose body it actually is. And both personalities inhabiting this one body love someone else. So that to me is a really great premise, and I really did enjoy the first 12 episodes. And I may continue with it because the trailers for season 2 look so good, but at this moment, if the trailers for season 2 didn't look good, I would stop. I don't know what it is. I must have a short attention span or something, because I just get bored really easily. Like, it's in the middle of action right now. Like episode 12 going into episode 13, like things are happening, but I just don't care anymore. That's everything. I've been rambling for 25 minutes and I'm ready for some food. Let me know what your favorite watch was of December, and again, Happy New Year, and I'll see you very soon. Have a good day, have a good night, bye.